Lately I've been waking up feeling miserable and I don't know why, except I know exactly why. And I lied. Every day is a monotonous, homogenous mess of a single looping day. I had this realization while I was talking to my dad. He told me it's about time to mow the lawn again. And I looked at the grass and yeah, it was sort of long, but I just cut it 3 days ago. Except it was actually 9 days ago. If I had to compare this feeling to anything, it'd be this. I'm driving down the highway and there's a guy in the same lane coming towards me 100 miles per hour committing suicide. It's too late to do anything now because I wasn't paying attention or I didn't care and I put it off until it's too late. Something like that. We make impact, all my internal organs rupture under the weight of a ton of steel and other metals. Something goes through my head, maybe a large shard of glass, and for the few milliseconds of life I have left, my neurons rapidly fire the same signals over and over, repeating my last few moments a couple dozen times while I'm collapsed over the dashboard in a heap of septic brain rot. It's 8 o'clock now, with maybe a 20-minute margin of error. I hate waking up past 8:40, it feels so degenerate to me. It's probably because I think I'm a morning person, I need to be productive and utilize my body's energy updraft, but the thing is, I barely do any work ever, so the time of day doesn't affect anything at all. I like to exercise right away because it gives me some time to think about myself and not numbers or words. And if I really don't want to think about anything, I can focus on the physicality of exercise. The feeling of gripping a dumbbell until the muscles in my feet cramp, the strain in my arm from a push-up, the throbbing pain in my chest from running. I used to think that I hated going outside, but I changed my mind. A few weeks ago, it was like mid-60s, there was a slight breeze and an unrealistically perfect blue sky. I felt like crying, which was weird. I usually don't get emotional about the weather. I used to have this goal of getting bigger arms, a larger chest, the typical masculine self-validating stuff. But after seeing some progress pictures on Instagram from kids in my school, I decided against it. It looks unnatural, and maybe because it was posted on Instagram, it looks like they're doing it solely for vanity purposes. Exercise should be about improving physical health, and to measure that, you might use appearances, but it shouldn't just be about that. I'm writing out this video in the small hardcover book I bought at Target a few weeks ago, but before they're written in here, they originate in the shower or in bed at 4 a.m. when I randomly wake up and can't fall back to sleep. I used to play music on my phone, but I stopped doing that as often. Need more time to breathe and be in my head, I guess. If I had to pick, I think the shower is my favorite place and part of my day. I'm listening to music before I start doing anything. I really like the soundtrack to this movie called Liz and the Bluebird, and a lot of the time I play the song Wind Glass Girls 2 or 3 times to stall. I like how minimal it is and how it utilizes the sounds of every day, like unzipping a zipper, footsteps, little wind chimes, that kind of thing. I use uWorld like this. It's really not that awful. I complain, but I like the feeling of working towards something and improving. It's nice to get into a rhythm and feel like you have some momentum behind you while you're working. What pisses me off is when I copy and paste my question, it doesn't sync instantly to my tablet, so I just sit there for like 3 seconds watching the little spinning circle animation, doing nothing. It's the worst feeling ever. I'm just kidding. The actual worst is doing bad on the test and then feeling miserable. Like you backtracked 2,000 steps and everything up to now was a fluke. And then you try again and do even worse. I eat lunch really early, sometimes before 11, not because I'm hungry, but because I want an excuse to take a break. A meal is a reason to not have to do anything. I'm taking care of my body and my hands are full, so I can't do anything else. Sorry, that's just how it is. I do this a lot with snacks and stuff too. I eat slow watching YouTube, maybe an episode of anime, and I really need to break this habit because a lot of the times I eat too much and feel disgusting. I don't know why I sleep in the middle of the day. I set an alarm for 1 p.m. but always fall back to sleep and get up at 2 because I have no self-control. It's terrible for my actual sleep and I'm giving myself insomnia because I'm too weak to change. I judge other people for waking up late, but if I add my nap time to my real sleep, I may as well be waking up at 10 like everyone else. Most of the time I'm ashamed, but I have no willpower to change. I do another set of 30 questions. When I'm done, I drink water. I've been tracking my water intake every day since like 2 years ago during the beginning of COVID. I definitely don't need to anymore, but it's a habit now, and it's not like it's a bad thing. My mom is on my dad's ass a lot for not drinking enough water, and one time I told him to track it, and he told me you might as well track your piss and shit too. I don't know why I shared that. I go back and do another 30 questions. Now, depending on how long I slept and how fast I did those questions, two things could happen. I could go eat dinner, or I could do my torrented copy of The Ultimate Guide to SAT Grammar by Erica L. Meltzer. I wish her name was Smeltzer, so then it'd be a little bit funny at least. Dinner is as early as 4 p.m. for the same reason lunch was so early. When I'm done, I go and sit for a little bit and look outside. Sometimes I listen to music. I don't want to go on my phone since I have a widget at the top of my screen with my screen time, and my goal is to keep it under 2 every day. I don't know why I try anymore because I always fail. I think about some stuff, sometimes I fall asleep again. Doing more Smeltzer until 8 o'clock. I'm always done at 8 regardless of any circumstance. I go run again if the weather's nice, sometimes I read. I like this book called From Truant to Anime Screenwriter. It's a biography and I think it's relatable. I like it a lot. Sometimes I work on videos or I design something in Photoshop. Sometimes I write, like right now. A lot of the time I watch videos and feel like I'm wasting my time. I go to sleep at 10, but I actually go to sleep at 2 because I slept a ton in the middle of the day and can't fall asleep, and now I hate myself. I have blue filters on my screens, I listen to a podcast or calm music before bed, but that time trying to fall asleep is super painful sometimes. Especially when I know I need to do something the next day. Then I'm thinking about it, and if I think about it, I get angry that I'm not asleep and angry at myself for taking that nap, and then I'm even further away from anything I want. Yeah, so that's the end of my life in uWorld. I'm taking the SAT at the end of August, and that's the day my figurative car crash and death will end. Maybe I'll go to heaven, or maybe I'll go to hell. I might get in another car crash if it goes poorly. This metaphor is stupid. I'll just be happy that's over. That's how I want to end it.
Wow, real dramatic, don't you think?
What?
The whole crash bullshit. But you thought it was real poetic, like you were being interesting.
I don't know, that's not really like the point, I think.
Those kids on Instagram working out because you think they want attention, you're doing the exact same thing, making this self-pity, masturbatory video, exaggerating every little feeling to make people feel bad for you.
Okay, well, I just thought it'd be cool to like put myself into the art. It's not that.
This isn't art. You're making it up and you need to grow up. No one cares about how you feel, even if it was real. There's nothing poetic about suffering. You're not suffering, and you should be glad you aren't suffering.
Okay, well, how do you know?
Because I'm you.
What?
Don't pretend like you don't understand. You're writing this dialogue in that hardcover notebook you bought at Target. You literally told everyone already. You're talking to yourself because you're lonely. Nothing else is real except that.
Okay, well, I so hate you.
What are you gonna do?
I don't know. What do I do about an imaginary person? It doesn't matter actually, you'll be gone the moment this video ends.
Yeah, and then you'll truly be alone.